Hello there. It is the 27th of May 2021. Good afternoon. Welcome to Pan-African News on Pan-African Television. We are coming to you live from our studios here at Abilimpi, number 48, Wanaka Street. We are also streaming live on Facebook and across 46 neighboring countries via satellite. My name is Makiza Micheline Latifa. Coming up in the news bulletin this afternoon, and President Akufo-Addo gives credence to the burning of excavators at illegal mining sites. But a leading member of the New Patriotic Party calls for better options. Meanwhile, Mentia West Small-Scale Miners Association accuses President Akufo-Addo of selective justice and threatens to sue government over burning of excavators of some members. And ahead in business, traders at the Kwabenya Atomic Market slammed Ga East Municipal Chief Executive for non-performance. We've got details of these and many more stories coming up shortly. Please do stay. Let's do our very first story. And the Mentia West Small-Scale Miners Association is accusing President Akufo-Addo of providing protection cover for bigwigs in the New Patriotic Party to do illegal mining or galamsey. According to the miners, the current fight against galamsey is rather targeting legal small-scale miners while shielding the galamseyers. The miners addressed their frustration at a press briefing in Manso Nkwanta.
Addressing the media at Manso Nkwanta in the Ashanti region, the Mentia West Small-Scale Miners Association expressed worry over the burning of excavators of some of their members. According to the miners, though they were operating legally, over 20 excavators and equipment of some members have been burnt by the task force. According to the miners, government is taking a different turn after discussions at the small-scale mining dialogue favoring NPP party bigwigs to engage in illegal mining whilst targeting licensed small-scale miners.
Mr. President, so one small-scale miner for you could tell land so we are more bo. It is here I am more bo. Small-scale mining for you could tell land it's here and Mr. Abani say Abani we are more bo. You're paying for we are more bo. If you say excavators, how much is no? How much is here bibia? And the most small-scale miners could tell land I am more bo. And the master say my obey dear. Na me da a man you know with dear. Mr. Abani say one jay a small scale for a could tell Lances no near Juba. Sabi Yamuram Lasso Gana Ham Lawaha and the Abani Milam. Wow could tell Lances, sir. When you are Jumayeno, Abani Miahu, some way or could tell Lances on Yena Jumaye, way only Lances on ye or ye Juma, and the best Rabano. So on share, non so your falling Casa. Near message excavators on the Jatutum, so your voice excavating in a best Rabano, men Sadam and Sayem. Yenina ya President Bako, men Sadam and Sayem, Mr. President, so when we are more bo, when we are more bo, near Fidia now, dear a ja, to excavate any muno, Omunjai, MIA, your best Rabano.
President of the Mentia West Small-Scale Miners Association, Daniel Kweku Mensah, accused President Akufo-Addo of selective justice in the fight against galamsey.
We are rather the victims, so we just want the president to come out to clear that the directives and the executions differ. So what is going on? At the same time, why is it that we should protect our environment, which is the river body and our forest? But as I speak to you now, his own party people are in the forest mining. What is happening? We need answers. That's why we are here today. What happened when it comes to selective justice? Because if he's protecting some people in the community, why we, the legitimate, are suffering, he knows the consequences.
The miners are also accusing the media coalition against galamsey of non-condoning galamsey.
At the same time, my problem has to do with the media coalition. Those people who started this fight, where are they? Beginning, they thought that we, the people in the mining communities, are involved in these illegal activities. But when the media coalition found out that it is rather the big fish, the big wig in the party are doing, they have pulled back to their shares. Where are they? So we should handle this as Ghanaians, not to satisfy anybody in this country. We are destroying our environment. And they are saying that those areas be reserved for our inheritance, right? People unborn. What are we leaving for our people unborn? This loan, 40 years, they are coming to pay, is what we are leaving for our people. So they should allow the legal miners, small-scale miners, to go back to work.
The miners are threatening to take the government on if their grievances are not addressed. From the Ashanti region, Isaac Otris reports for Pan African Television News.
And those were some concerns from small-scale miners who believe or are accusing government of selective justice. But let's still stay a bit longer on Galamsey and the burning of excavators, as a leading member of the New Patriotic Party, Francis Adenimo, says government could adopt better strategies and policies in dealing with illegal mining. According to Francis Adenimo, the burning of excavators at Galamsey site is not a better option in fighting Galamsey.
We have the issue of the livelihood of people, millions of Ghanaians, whose livelihood may be dependent on mining of gold. And then we also have the issue of degradation of the environment. And I believe we can find a solution to it. If it is the forest, the first of it is the forest, the land degradation. So should anybody take an excavator and go to anywhere and say that because there exists gold here, I take an earth-moving equipment, go there, and I begin to excavate the place in search of the substance, the ore, so that I can go and refine it. Then also, how do we do the refining? Can we do it outside the water bodies? Which I know, yes, it is possible, we can do it. So we need the technocrats, Minerals Commission, and all those related, that the proper technological solution, training, skills should be accorded to all these people. Then we can be sure that we are eliminating the degradation of the forest and the pollution of the water. Earth-moving equipment. So we could also tell the people to stop the work, use the same equipment for reclamation or to reinstate the degraded or destroyed portions of the forest or of the land. But these are earth-moving equipment, so you burn them, and what happens? You leave them as where they are. How do you move them even onto a low bed to transport them to other places? And nobody can also carry those things unless you send mechanics there to go and dismantle everything by its members. Is that the way we want? No. So that approach, in my personal view, I think that is not the approach. We could still set up the halt Galamsey operation and go to site and stop them, and then use the same earth-moving equipment to do the reclamation and reinstatement of the forest or of the land. Government must be resource-oriented. Government must be entrepreneurial. This is all part of creating happiness for the citizens of the land. So we need to reinvent government. We cannot continue as usual.
And those were the views of Francis Adenimo, who is a leading member of the New Patriotic Party, on the burning of excavators by government. And away from that story, the minority in Parliament has questioned the delay in the construction in the constitution of boards of the various government agencies. Speaking on the floor of Parliament during Wednesday's sitting, leader of the minority in Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, demanded reasons for the delay in the constitution of the boards.
The boards of these institutions have not been constituted as is expected of the president. Quite apart from that, take for instance the road fund. Our road contractors live on it and they get monthly releases as the road fund is constituted. For roads was inaugurated 5th of March. We are ending May. Why is the road fund board not constituted? Why is it not functioning? How do you expect contractors to survive? January, February, March, we can understand we're undergoing a transition. Now, Speaker, a lot of them, we have a duty to protect the Ghanaian private sector and that duty must be extended to Ghanaian contractors who the road fund owes. Even as government cannot find money for them, at least administratively, let the administrative machinery work with assurances that government is constituting the road fund. Many institutions, chief executives have not been appointed, boards have not been appointed. I do not share the view that this function or roles be reduced to ministerial role. I cannot imagine a minister for education wanting to come to parliament to present the GET fund to parliament. That will not be acceptable. It must be the GET fund board, so constituted as required by the Parent Act creating it. National Health Insurance Fund, there are challenges we need to know. And then this Assembly Common Fund, I said, as established in 252, I heard your whisper. I said, as established by Article 252, the Common Fund, we need to know. So, Mr. Speaker, a matter of urgent public importance, the President must wake up and act urgently to secure and protect the interests of our road contractors by getting the road minister, it's a shared responsibility to get the road fund board properly constituted so that whatever money they've had in the last few months, they can get some respite from the releases from the fund. One cannot understand why it's taking this long to get the road fund constituted. How long does it take for a president to appoint a chief executive? Why? You don't have the men. Let us know.
Right, still in Parliament, leader of the majority in Parliament, Osei Mensah Bonsu, agreed with the minority and called for deliberations on the matter.
The issue that has been raised by the honorable minority leader, I believe, certainly is of some urgency. It's a matter of public importance. We must dialogue over it. I think that we need really to engage. We need to engage on that. That's the usual vicissitudes of the minority. They are notwithstanding. I would agree. I'm not too sure you have the men. I'm not too sure you have the men. Yes, because we have the men and the women. He said that they have the men. We have the men and the women. But Mr. Speaker, I think we can certainly dialogue on that to see what it is that must be done.
And those were some happenings in Parliament. But away from Parliament, traders at the Kwabenya Atomic Market say they are disappointed in the performance of the Ga East Municipal Assembly and have called for the head of the municipal chief executive. According to the traders, the Ga East MCE has performed far below expectations, not advancing development in the municipality.
The Ga East Municipal Assembly forms part of the 29 metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies in the Greater Accra region. The municipality is located at the northern part of Greater Accra region and shares boundaries with the Ga West Municipal to the west, the La Quantanan Municipal to the east, Accra Metropolitan to the south, and the Ikuapem South District to the north. Its administrative capital is Abokobi. Notable towns include Dome, Taifa, Kwabenya, Atomic, amongst others. There are also several rural communities on the outskirts of the municipality, including Pantan, Abokobi. The municipality is a major commercial hub with several markets, including the Dome and Kwabenya Atomic markets. The municipality is, however, beset with numerous developmental challenges, including bad roads, water, security, and sanitation. Some traders at the Kwabenya Atomic Market are unhappy about the current developmental efforts of the Ga East Municipal Assembly and are blaming the MCE, Janet Tulasi Mensah. This, according to some residents who lamented on the challenges they are facing, said they are unhappy about the challenges in the municipality. According to them, the MCE has failed and should not be reappointed. Some residents at Dome named bad road network, street light, and poor sanitation as their major challenges.
Your market in your percent. Ejina. Na bebra be jije papa. Market ni ejina Emma ye ko fa bia e be blessa. Ye nto ade na enyama nsa ni etu. Esike kite nyina. So ni na ye challenge ye face you. Enu na ye hawa ye say percent ni cover. Eni papa ni. Kemi die yi ni minimum. Na se juma no ye na eso ye ni dia. Nkanwa ya.
Some traders at the Kwabenya Atomic Market say the MCE, Janet Tulasi Mensah, has showed she is not capable of managing the municipality.
They say this you know model number market no be sure say market no ko market aka go fufu apa so fo e be yi ni ama na wo musu ba naka market na team say na egu market ha so ti ase kwa so fo station bia ni ha so ti atama ye boka wa ha to make us be am to make us be am stand eduma na be that say but na me hu na make us say me ba hard o ma hada so I do o person o transfer dia on ya action ko do be kwa benya na so na wo MC you abana say wo hwe da fa akodi a me just say wo mu ya so ti ase so ba na ka ye mo ba hai na ba ye hu na ye no din sa so na ya na ye catch na ko na abade a e so wani abre ma ye hwe wa ye hu dia na we akasa obi we hwe na ye hu na so we adwuma dia because ye adwuma na dia and be a wo for the beje na to me dia ba me be kasi be hu na hu da dia.
In an interaction with the unit committee member for Atomic Electoral Area, he was of the view that the MCE has done a good job in the municipality. He further stated that the committee is working on reviving the market.
And I'm in the market here. Market in the agent, and said COVID-19 buy now you on call, Cardinia School. And a man, MC, you know, call or be on my market near the buy. Land you atomic land. Say, I am forgiving him penny food you and can in your ham in your market. It's MC, you know, about home what they had seen. It's the Nebla, I say, MC, no bar, Sebi, or no, Yanny, the room say, Udia cannot drink it, but. You all can look for the minute, or can I be that minute? And you have seen a market in the game, and Parker, Ocean Market now. A house of pa, a month for the DJ marketing be brave. And only now, Jato. One won't see a Muya Juma, or Muya Juma. And the enemy share and all my our Muya Juma. You see, I make us say, you know, Martinasi, Alpha Prime, you say, you can say, yeah, no marketing.
From Kwabenya, Joy Linda Lies reports for Pan African News.
Right, let's do some more developmental stories. And as part of effort to rid the capital of filth and congestion under the Let's Make Accra work, the Regional Minister Henry Korte at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly teamed up last week to decongest some major parts of Accra, including the Central Business District. This has, however, displaced some residents in the areas who are blaming the Accra Regional Minister for making them homeless.
As part of the Let's Make Accra work campaign, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council teamed up with officials of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to demolish illegal structures along the Graphic Road in Accra. This, according to the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Korte, aligns with the President's ambition to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. However, a week after this exercise, some displaced persons are crying foul over the absence of an earlier notice directing them to vacate the premises of the earmarked areas, giving them little or no chance to evacuate their belongings. This, they say, has rendered them destitute on the streets as they have lost all their belongings. At the railway area along the Graphic Road, the situation was unusual as residents were picking up the remnants of what was left after the demolition exercise, with the smoke of their burnt wares still clouding the area.
enwumire kra me madanya na mete say so mu nam say so obi o container o payment so bia onyi na de eche o mu ba baby o ti wa fanya payment so to man ka so ya nche mo si payment so to mo ba on nti ba ya na pa be 8 to 9 to 10 no ani e wa so mo gba awura mu ha no ma di ka say the graders say e normal no mo se good paka mu de ko e ko tugu o tabel soro Come ka bibi mpo ntre ka ba no tre se ka ye ntumpo eti ebisa ba no se de ye Ghana fo ana because kama baby ni enkwa tena so wo my baby ase enkwa tena na so le wu tuye mo tuye ene na e 1 week ye tie wiem ana de asa ye debo so mu ma de eche asama ye de tumpani fo na ni se de o mu de o mu pa baby ma ne enkwa Sani so me ba ba hihya dan am ya tire mu a ni yan tiram no mo tire so oboso me tuya sei ene sei ya to de se ha ne ya to didi ni ba bi ko ene ma me ha na wotie boso me tuya 1 million ni ma wo sa adwuma na me ya me tuya asase to
eni ma nko yie kura ma ye wura akokora enu a na edi mimi botre wodade no so enu a na me di yan kakra na me di ahwe me ba mienu krampo wo school ekwa ba say yi last week na ombe bu ha se me ba no omuntimi nko school omutifie ti minim ba bia mekọ koye adwuma mpo saa da na ombe bubu ha kra mpo no ma dware me ba me di na ko school me ba ye no oma bubu adu me dry asesa ye nwi nyina de akwonte nwi kra mpo me ni ba ko ho no ma me di be ye adwuma me di gina ho nka ban ne nka obehwe ye nim kra mpo na nka oma pesika kakra bi di ama ye se ye mfa nko na yanko pe ba bi nhya na ye mfa nye adwuma.
Charles Anan, a spare parts dealer, recounted his ordeal.
Yewaha, as at last week Tuesday, Oma my notice about no penoma packet trucks near all that we thought so almost see war scraps for no and no money war and now kwanechinu now lotto kiosks mobile vendors in Yamawa trotro aha omo anchroha almost so more pavement sunti actually ye say we are part of it. As we are speaking now, container yeniyama wo materials goods e wo container no mo almost say container no as is goods e wo windscreen yeniyama over millions of cedis omo de call omo my information we will not lose millions of cedis here omo ko bisa say eyi iton buses VIP buses no windscreen back we ton say nti ye pese ye mo ya we say you are losing millions of cedis wa my notice if say ni bebia ye de befa bia at
the Agbebloshi Street, the situation was different as sellers encamped on the pavement revealed that they had been given a notice to vacate the area but were adamant since they had nowhere to go and are therefore calling on authorities to relocate them to a different location.
Enti the essence of my to ya dia na so be pe market bia man ya ewo CM ya on pay baby man so odi ewo no ya ka ni say railway wonu odi o be man ya ni yakwakogu akoto ya dia enu so ebe boa ye but say ye ni baby akọ last week no me man no di say ye free a ba ye so ye ni baby a ye be kọ enti say nko me man market ya akwakotene mu a ni ya ton ya dia nke ye man ye ni baby akọ.
Right, let's now move to Medina, but still on Making Accra Work campaign. The Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte has initiated a campaign dubbed Making Accra Work in some parts of the capital as part of government's drive towards making Accra the cleanest city in Africa. The campaign also includes sweeping the streets of hawkers, and this was the focus when the exercise was conducted in Medina. Pan-African News' Joy Linda Lai was at Medina to assess the situation.
In a bid to decongest Accra, the minister, in collaboration with the Regional Coordinating Council, toured some part of Accra to de-sealed choke gutters, sack hawkers on the pavement, and also ensure that people do not jaywalk, but rather use the footbridge which has been provided for them. I am currently at Medina to find out whether people are adhering to the measures that was put in place to make Accra work.
The nation's capital has become known for its worsening sanitation situations. choked gutters, polluted water bodies due to littering, amongst others, has contributed to this. Accra is grappling with poor sanitation as a result of urbanization and overcrowding. In order to address the issue, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, with support from the Regional Coordinating Council, is on a campaign to decongest the capital and address challenges due to bad sanitation, which has been attributed to the inability to create proper disposal points for solid waste, lack of enforcement of sanitation laws, population growth, poor financing of sanitation policies, rural-urban migration, amongst others. Our news team was at Medina, where pedestrians who refused to use the footbridge, which was constructed in 2019 to reduce road accidents, were sanctioned accordingly as part of making Accra work again. Few weeks after the exercise, pedestrians are still divided as to whether to use the footbridge or not, as some still prefer to jaywalk. Some express misgivings about the long and winding nature of the bridge, hence their refusal to use it. According to some pedestrians, most commuters prefer the road to the footbridge.
I think I was in Medina 1 month ago, and then when I came here, I wanted to cross the road, but then I was stopped by the police and then they asked me to climb the footbridge. So today, me being here and then me seeing that they've done some hedges around there, I was like, yeah, that's good. You know, I think sometimes Ghanaians, we have to be forced to do the right thing, otherwise we will not do it. So today, me seeing plenty of people using the footbridge, I think is the right thing. When you use the road and then a car knocks you down, it's going to bring another problem altogether, you understand? Let's do the right thing so that at the end of the day, we will be safe.
In the aftermath of the exercise, some hawkers and mendicants have shockingly occupied part of the footbridge. In order to decongest the facility, most traders and hawkers along the road who were all evicted have found their way back on the road, doing bricks business at the peril of their lives. They also attributed indiscriminate littering of refuse to the unavailability of dustbins at some vantage points. Others stressed the need for intense public education and laws to be enforced on sanitation.
People are adhering to the protocols as in using the footbridge, but at night we can't use it because the street light is not working. I don't see any lights here in the evening, and people do litter around. So if we can get dustbins around, I think it will be better for us to keep the footbridge clean.
Oh, she said I didn't want this, we want to do this. Still, I overhead, say emphasis, so I buy that's so a track one. A car bought a bimu. In Grand Society, every Muslim dish, and so Omunum see another with that two, or did know with that two. In some degree, if any dear or her. Unit
Committee Chairperson for Medina Social Welfare, Felicia Aku Akpenetaiva, appealed to authorities for an immediate solution.
They should give the assemblymen and their unit committee members that mandate to enforce the laws. We can start that by the municipal assembly taxing the assemblymen and the unit committee members of the various electoral areas in the constituency, and by helping them with a little bit of logistics or funds. We call a DEBA in every electoral area and talk to our people.
It is clear that some people are not adhering to the measures put in place to make Accra work. There are bylaws in the country, but then are they being enforced? Or are people ignorant of these laws? There is a sanitation court in the country that fines and jail people who do not go by these laws. Is it working? Until we are able to uproot indiscipline in the country, we will never be able to make Accra clean. Reporting from Medina, Jolinda Lai, Pan-African TV.
And away from Medina, let's now move to the Adentan municipality and look at the appointment of the MMDCEs, where the Adentan municipality is one of the major residential destinations in the Greater Accra region. It has developed into one of the thriving communities in Accra, with areas such as Smith Flat, Adringano, Adentan, New Legon, amongst others. However, residents of Adentan are not happy with the current developmental efforts by the Adentan Municipal Assembly.
Concerns including bad drains, flooding, bad roads, amongst a host of other challenges, have impeded the developmental drive of the municipality, according to the residents. These have compelled residents to fault the Adenta Municipal Chief Executive, Daniel Alexander Ninoy Adumwa, for the developmental challenges and difficulties confronting the municipality. The assemblyman for Adenta New Legon, Eric Tony Blair, is pointing accusing fingers at the Adenta MCE.
And then we talk about development, fiscal development, and the MC's major, what I would say is that his major priority has to do with socio-economic issues of the municipality. So you see Fidel Pierre, you see Aduado, or whatever they call it. He is much interested in what the citizens will do to get money. But to talk about development, I don't see any clear-cut policy of the MC.
So how would you...
For security, I don't think security is the best in the municipality, more especially in my electoral area. Day in, day out, you hear complaints about people's bag being snatched, and it's all about street lights. Okay. We don't have street lights.
That's your challenge.
Yes, it's a serious challenge. But we talk about sanitation. I hope you can even see around, so you can speak for yourself. You ask them, they don't even know their MCE. They've not even seen the MCE before. You get me? And the people like to see you more. You see, most of the times I tell people that we need not to depend too much on the central government. The resources are right here with us. We have the people. They are ready to sacrifice their penny, peswa, for anything. So far as they are also going to benefit. Do you understand? This is a case, you've never been to them. During a resident association meeting, they invite you, don't come, even to listen to them.
He further indicated that the president was the sole prerogative in assessing the directive chief executive's performance.
You know, it is the prerogative of the president. Should the president nominate him, that will be another story. I will listen more to my electorate before casting my ballot that day. If my people says that, no, we don't want the MCE, I don't have any other options than to make sure that he doesn't have my vote. But if my people says, okay, the MCE did well, so maintain him, then he can have my vote. We will plead with the president to give us somebody that will listen to the people more, that will consult the people more, that will make sure that before fee-fixing resolution, he gets back to the people. Before the assembly budget, he gets back to the people, not only necessarily town hall meetings.
From Adenta, Modiana Ninate reporting for Pan-African Television News.
And that's all we have for you on the local front, but you're still watching Pan-African News right here on Pan-African Television with me, Makiza Michelin Latifa. We'll take a quick break. Business news follows shortly. Do stay.
Hello. Okay, why? My wife comes and send a message you. Hello. What's happened?
It's a child who be a quiet say what? A dear sir.
We signed for a fair. I'm so years. You have not tested messages here. And our office also. I'm trying to tell man. She says, I
mean, so we a guy manu and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it then? Family Drilling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Yinaso, ye be, Frey 0240 333 111 and NASA 0244 144 822.
Miampa and you want swimming pool on me fee. Me want to will be here. Family drilling now. Family drilling.
What fashion yala shit?
Me out with that.
from that quick break. Now let's do some business stories. And traders at the Kwabenya Atomic Market are lamenting low patronage at the market. The traders are blaming the Ga East Municipal Assembly for not making adequate preparation and promotion of the new market before the relocation.
The Kwabenya Atomic Market, which is sited in the Ga East Municipal Assembly, was commissioned in 2020 to replace the satellite market as a result of the need to decongest the dummy market in line with the observance of social distancing protocol directed by the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The decision widely deemed unpopular, dissatisfied traders, most of whom were forced to relocate in line with the new measure, which they say has seriously affected their means of livelihood. Narrating the ordeal, the traders raised serious concerns over the issue, which has lingered for some time, and pleaded with government to intervene swiftly and address the situation.
Madam, you hear by your ha, ya bre papa, ya ba ka 1 year no afi. Senyete ya eka ya boka o market mu asa. You hear by your market mu. You hear no, you hear ne pa. Say ya chira say ya bre, nti abai fa na ni ma hwe market ne maye. Ya ni ya na say ya boka. Nko fa mo money ba mo money say mtugu ye. Wele say mtugu.
Prices are not saying coffee nim say a market one.
Market. Baby, I shall talk until he has an announcement. Babananko, Nipania who say, Yashedo ha, Costocrum, and Mobian Film. Yeah, but has 24 hours near sorry near and Crawford market now to Omumba, she table Guamumba, ya basu ya boka drum, Yaka and Timmy share low, Mumbai, no young film, no more from the market and your market, to say Domi market. Massamono.
Ye de ka park neso, near Coshega, and was who has say, I am not sassy, Tiamla Messia, near Yaguma. Ya beje dia pata ya fehwe nkoso eno anse yesia se domi na agidin yenim se domi de ohodada ye mpanifo ne wo mo but ono ode ye kọ ho no ye sre ne se ne oyo obatan no twantuma si ne yam no wokoma ye no nkoma ye ne dwane nkoso se loan ma akogye enam ahom ti semuntin se loan fo otwetwe me den be dwane ntimi nkoso wo ha ye si pagya table ne ade achi ye si pagya no mo nso aba ye na beje ye no magya hokọ na aka ye ne ye te ha ne ye akoka uko biye wa no pa nipa cross wa bodua yesra na na do say so you obatan ya wa be wie ye mlemu be so ya sen no twantuma si ne bodua me get me fra asante achema agogo ba wledu klom na me furi ba wledu nchen na metie enti wo mla no meboa yen na dwane ntim mpo se ne be ya ado asafo anso ba bia wo hye no wa wo ye me hia no wo mla mehwe ko so you obate se me twantuma si ne bo wo mla no mehwe dwane ba bia aduro no wo ne yakose ye bere.
A customer, Grace Asamoah, expressed worry over the hiking prices of wares and likened them to those sold at the dummy market.
For that one, I can say they know, but the things are too expensive. If you compare it to dummy market and the other stuffs, now I can say these places are too expensive.
That's why people hardly come here.
Yeah, because I bought Indomie, the big size, at the woman there. She sold it to me. Is it 7 cedis or something? And it's not like that.
How much do you buy it?
5 cedi, 50 pesos or something. So the difference is too high. And I don't think I'll come there to buy that thing again. I prefer going to the market to get it.
Edwin Adongo, a trader at the market, shared his view.
Oh, I do mind there. Yeah, no move but and quay marketing. When I find I caught 3 weeks in marketing. No, say over a kitchen. We know almost switching way, but because of I feed now more than mom, I want to see how more feeding on. Now, what's our back? Okay, for farm out this over tone. Different.
I do manage the uncle because near my way in Saturday and I'm coffee. Saturday in crab and cram for 50 cedis, but I get one am a fire, and so that's what she has. Indeed, your bar, your bet na near man say, I am about to say, or Shanano, yes, I'm a too good, and until I mean to me, Wabi Brino. Oh, boy, baby, I dare bet you to me in Simon, one in our bocaka. Yes, I would too good. nti se me ba se ya na ye ne kakra nti ya anto de ade cha na mato na ma boa foforo bode no me de bi kura ko hwedwa ho apro me de akohwedwa we inside ho apro nti e ba ha na de ye nto hwe ye te asan ne asan so yeko sometimes kra se me ni sika wo me ho a je se me yi sika e wo me phone so.
The assemblyman for the Ga East Municipal Assembly, Emmanuel Odamite, called on the Ga East Municipal Assembly to promote the market.
We want the publicity, and we started this market August 21st August. We came here from Kwabinya Satellite Market, and we came here. We are picking up small, but the market is down. Yeah. So if you people do a more advert for us, we'll be glad. Actually, wants to create a place for these bulk haulage people. If they started coming, things will go down. For now, some of them goes to Dome and pick their goods there and come. Yeah.
So this is what the market women here at Kwabinya Atomic Market. They are lamenting bitterly over poor patronage in business, and most of them are saying that the place is unknown. They need the government to publicize the place so that people can come and patronize their business. Reporting from Kwabinya Atomic Market, Cynthia Inkum for Pan African News.
And those were some traders at the Kwabinya Atomic Market who are clearly not happy with the low state of patronage at the market. They are actually accusing the assembly of not making adequate provisions before relocating them to the market. But that's all we have for you in the world of business. Up next is International News Day. Now, on the international front, one Iraqi protester was killed and at least 13 others were injured after security forces fired at Iraq demonstrators in Baghdad on Tuesday, May 25th. The demonstrations took place at Baghdad Tahrir Square as well as the Al-Nisar Square. The protests are part of a wave of dissent in the country that began in October 2019 and has continued despite the COVID-19 pandemic.
The protesters carried posters with the photographs of those who have been killed in the demonstrations, as well as victims of assassinations. They also displayed banners which read, "Stop the impunity" and "Who killed me?" pointing to the fact that the Iraqi government authorities are yet to arrest the culprits in the majority of cases of targeted killings. No punishment has been meted out as well to any of the security forces personnel responsible for shooting dead at least 600 unarmed protesters since 2019. On May 9, prominent anti-government activist Ihab al-Wazni was killed in the city of Kabala. After his assassination, the protesters gave the government a deadline of 2 weeks to apprehend his killers. The demonstrations on Tuesday were also a response to the government's failure to solve the case. Media reports said many of the protesters had traveled to Baghdad from other parts of the country to attend the protest. They had originally planned to march on the Al-Jumhuriyah Bridge to make their way towards the heavily guarded green zone of the capital, housing diplomats and U.S. military forces. Even though the demonstrations were peaceful, the security forces repeatedly blocked protesters from getting on the bridge and proceeded to attack them with live ammunition, tear gas, metal batons and stun grenades. In response, the protesters threw stones and other projectiles at the security forces. The security forces also arrested at least 4 people who they called infiltrators and alleged that they were carrying weapons so as to incite violence, according to an Iraqi military statement. Many protesters also told news outlets that they will boycott the parliamentary election scheduled to be held in October. Several other long-standing demands of the protest movement, such as a solution to issue of widespread unemployment, poverty, corruption, and inadequate public services, have also not been met in the past 2 years. This has led to many protesters terming Prime Minister Mustafa Al-Kadhimi as worse than his predecessors and the elections as nothing but an exercise to recycle garbage. According to the Iraqi Independent Commission for Human Rights, 35 activists have been killed since October 2019, and there have been close to 81 attempted assassinations in the same period. Ali Al-Bayati, spokesperson for the commission, said that last year saw 15 assassinations and 30 attempted killings. Explaining why the assassinations continue on to take place, he said, impunity comes from the failure of state institutions to bring the perpetrators to account. This gives them the green light to continue. The international NGO Human Rights Watch has also denounced the government's inaction and failure to prevent these killings and expressed concern about a climate of fear that could prevent ordinary Iraqi citizens from taking part in the elections. The Iraqi Communist Party is among the political parties that has decided not to participate in the October elections. Its leader, Raid Fahmy, called the situation volatile and said that people are frustrated. If the doors of democracy and free, transparent elections close, this could lead to a new wave of violence. The party on Sunday paid homage to all the slain activists and protesters, calling them martyrs. It also joined the call for demonstrations yesterday and stressed that the government should punish the culprits of the assassinations. Additionally, it called upon the government to make the social and political environment conducive for the holding of free, fair, and transparent elections. The statement also denounced the government's failure to control the various militia groups operating in the country.
Many thanks to our international partners, the People's Dispatch. Up next is sports. And in sports, David De Gea failed at the end of a marathon penalty shootout as Villarreal dashed Manchester United's hopes of Europa League glory in Dansk. This was a disappointing contest, lacking in quality and producing only 3 shots on target across 120 minutes, but drama arrived with the spot kicks.
All 20 outfield players converted their penalties in the longest shootout in the final of any UEFA competition. And in an increasingly tense stadium, Villarreal goalie Geronimo Rulli blasted home his effort and then denied De Gea, who was crestfallen at the end. It gave Villarreal a first major trophy in their history and saw former Arsenal boss Unai Emery lift the Europa League for an unprecedented 4th time. However, on the anniversary of both Sir Matt Busby's birthday and the epic Champions League final in 1999, that earned Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hero status among the Old Trafford faithful, there was to be no new 26th May landmark as United complete a 4th year without silverware. United simply did not go enough, despite the massive gulf in transfer fees and salaries between the two clubs. Solskjaer's side did not start well and fell behind to a soft goal from Gerard Moreno. Edison Cavani dragged United level 10 minutes into the second period after a Marcus Rashford shot had been deflected into his path. But United failed to build on that momentum, and by the end, Solskjaer was introducing Juan Mata and Alex Telles purely to take penalties in the shootout. Both players scored, although given De Gea had failed to save any of the previous 21 penalties he had faced. Maybe Solskjaer should have followed the example of former United boss Louis van Gaal, who famously brought on Tim Krul purely for a shootout at the 2014 FIFA World Cup, which the Netherlands went on to win.
Well, a very unfortunate turn of events for Manchester United fans, but still in sports, former Kumasi Asante Kotoko striker Eric Kwabena Bekoe has been named as the head coach of Division 2 side in Sokoman FC. Bekoe has taken up the role ahead of the upcoming league season. He's expected to use his vast experience to groom players at the club.
The 34-year-old is expected to use his vast experience in football to groom the Nsokoman FC players. Bekoe became a household name during a spell with Kumasi Asante Kotoko, scoring 42 goals in 48 matches for the club, and was part of the squad that won the Ghana Premier League title and went to the group stages in the CAF Confederation Cup. He was the top scorer in the 2007/2008 season with 17 goals in 23 games. He played for Ghanaian clubs like Sekindi Hezakias, Liberty Professionals, Bando Heart of Lions, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Brekum Chelsea, as well as Petrojet in Egypt. According to the striker, he decided to take on the job due to his appetite to unearth and nurture talents for the various national teams. He also scored 4 goals in 12 caps for the Black Stars of Ghana.
And that's all we have for sports. Up next is Entertainment Tuesday. Africa, a continent endowed with natural resources, can equally boast of numerous tourist sites and unique geographical landmarks. On today's Showbiz segment, we will shift attention to the Lekki Conservation Center in Nigeria.
The center was established in 1990 to serve as biodiversity conservation icon and environment education center. The facility was built by the Chevron Corporation for the Nigerian Conservation Foundation as a reserve sanctuary for the rich flora and fauna of the Lekki Peninsula. The company has since provided annual funding for the management of the center. To start the conservation project, 3 potential areas were surveyed in 1987 by NCF technical team in partnership with the defunct Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperative. Thereafter, Lekki area was chosen to establish the demonstration site for the conservation project. Locating the conservation project on Lekki Peninsula informed the name of the project Lekki Conservation Center. The center was established by the Nigerian Conservation Foundation to protect the wildlife and mangrove forest of Nigeria's southwest coastline from the threat of urban development. The reserve area, which covers a land area of 78 hectares, is located on Lekki Peninsula next to the Lekki Lagoon and near the Lagos Lagoon. It protects the westlands of the Lekki Peninsula, which consists of swamp and savanna habitats. Approaching the reserve, there's a boulevard of coconut trees which leads to a well-laid-out car and visitors park. It's endowed with an abundance of plant and animal life. Its huge tract of wetlands is set aside for wildlife viewing. Raised walkways enable viewing of animals like monkeys, crocodiles, snakes, and various birds. There's also a conservation center and a library. The wetlands are managed by the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, and it now includes a figure of 8 system of footpaths with hiking trails and stepping stones to cross waterways. A trail boardwalk was constructed in 1992 to enrich tourists' view of the vast resources of the nature reserve, which is encapsulated on a mangrove terrain. Side attractions along the trail include swamp outlooks, bird hide, rest stops, and the tree house. The 1.8-kilometer nature trail behind the foremost main buildings is connected by 2 wooden tracks. A steady wooden track leading to the nature trail reveals an expansive stretch of marshland and savanna grassland teeming with wildlife as well as rich aquatic flora and fauna. Efforts have been made to save different types of animals, reptiles and bird life from extinction. The endangered species of animals includes bushbacks, crocodiles, mona monkeys, squirrels, snakes, crocodiles, monitor lizards, duikers, giant rats and hawks. While the trees host mona monkeys and other species of monkeys, the open grasslands are home to bushbacks, Maxwell's duikers, giant rats, hawks, mongooses, chameleons, squirrels, and an impressive variety of bird life. Park rangers are also available as guides. Lekki Conservation Center has the longest canopy walkway in Africa.
And that's all we have for you right here on your most authoritative news program, Pan-African News. Before I leave you, let's do a recap of the headlines. And President Akufo-Addo gives credence to the banning of excavators at illegal mining sites. But a leading member of the New Patriotic Party calls for better options. Meanwhile, Mansie West Small-Scale Miners Association accuses President Akufo-Addo of selective justice and threatens to sue government over banning of excavators of some members. And traders at the Kwabenya Atomic Market slammed Ga East Municipal Chief Executive for non-performance. We brought you details of these and many more. I want to say thank you so much for staying with us right here on Pan African News. My name is Makiza Micheline Latifa. Have a good day.